Cancel. What's going on? First person in here. How's your day going so far, man? Nicholas, what's going on, man? Cancel, Nicholas. First two people in here. Let's go. It's been a minute since I've done a live. I have noticed it definitely has been more, not more that I've been doing lives, but I've definitely been going live less and less, which that is definitely something I do want to fix. I've just been relatively busy recently. Good. What about you? Pretty good. I went to school today and then hung out with my dad after school, and then tomorrow I have the juniors have they take the ACT tomorrow. I'm not a junior, so I get tomorrow off. So I'm doing pretty good. Cancel, Nicholas. What did I do? Nicholas, you know exactly what you did. Stop playing dumb, buddy. No. Nicholas, if you're being... Okay, here's the thing, though. I can't tell if you're being serious, Nicholas. I'm on spring break. I was on spring break like 2 or 3 weeks ago. Damn. And how long is your spring break, Nicholas? Because my spring break was a week long. It was literally 5 days long. Wait, or was it 2 weeks long? I think it was only a week long. What's up, Micah? What is your scent of the day? Colson, what is your scent of the day? My scent of the day, which honestly, this is like just one of my top recommendations. Colognes Shiaka Blue. I was skeptical with the whole brand of Colognes, but honestly, this one is phenomenal. It's supposedly a clone of YSL Loam Blue Electric. I'm pretty sure I've smelled that a couple times, but I can't really remember what it smells like. This is a beautiful fragrance. Starts off citrusy and green. You get some nice florals in the middle notes, and then you get a musky, ambery vanilla dry down. Very good. It's just a super good, citrusy, clean, floral, musky, sweet fragrance. Pretty likable. I think it would be pretty hard to find someone who does not like this one. And then the price is very attractive as well. It's like $26 on Amazon right now, but I paid $20 for this. I think it was like $6 or $7 off. Really good juice. Eau de Parfum concentration. Lasts a decent amount of time. Super good. 1 week, this whole week off. So, Nicholas, you have like a whole week, like 7 days, or just like the school week, 5 days. I'm not wearing anything today. Colson, why? You my least favorite baby mama? No. D&D, what's going on? Soul Sassad, what's going on? Thoughts on TLTG reviews. Soul Sassad, I did not release that video. I was going to release it. However, I talked with like King and Brian and everyone like that. And they were just like, maybe it's not the smartest thing. Which then I kind of realized maybe it's not the smartest thing. I will obviously, I'll share my opinions. I don't think he's like that cool of a guy. I don't like how he treated you. And I don't necessarily think how he goes about a decent amount of things is the proper way. However, I mean, he's a big influencer. People enjoy him, So I think in the end, he's fine. 5 days, Monday through Friday. Got you, Nicholas. Just enjoy it, man. So excited you bought Rasasia Hawas Ice coming on Friday. Colson, great choice on Rasasia Hawas Ice. If you have smelled the original Hawas, it's similar to that mixed with like YSLY. Now, I would say, if you smell Invictus, you smell Hawas, which is true to a certain extent, not completely though. Hawas Ice, as I say, is like a mix between Hawas and YSLY. Has this super nice green apple in there. Very good. Gamer Will, what's going on? Best JPG for spring. Ooh, best JPG for spring. So that one's tied. And that goes to the 2 JPGs that I own. I haven't smelt the new Flower Edition. I smelt the new Lamal Elixir Absolute, and that one's decent. But Ultramall and or LeBeau EDT, in my opinion, are just the best John Paul Gaultiers, but the best for like year-round. I think you can wear Ultramall year-round. Just don't, do a bunch of sprays. And LeBeau, you can definitely wear year-round. 2 phenomenal fragrances. I think if I could really only recommend one for spring, I would just go LeBeau because, spring, it's going to start being warm. Maybe it's rainy. And just like the coconut in LeBeau and the warmth is phenomenal. GH3, what's going on? How are you? Gamer Will, I'm doing pretty good. How about you? Not wearing anything today because you didn't feel like it. You were rushing to go to school, so you didn't wear anything. Makes sense. And honestly, it's kind of surprising. Normally when people are like, oh, I'm not wearing anything today, Oh, majority of the time when people say that they're not wearing anything, I'll be like, oh, why not? And they'll be like, I was running late to school, or I was running late out of the house. It's crazy because people that are in the fragrance game, the only time they really miss wearing a fragrance is if it just like slips their mind because they're busy. Yeah, I think you did the right thing. Not releasing the video would be too controversial. And it's like, here's the thing. I think what I may do is I could just do a video of me like ranking all of the fragrance influencers. That would be something I would be more comfortable doing and wouldn't be as controversial. More Eros Energy. Eros Energy is decent. The whole Aventus DNA I think is good. I think it's starting to get a little bit played out, but Eros Energy is decent. Halfway on Hawas Ice. I am not halfway on Hawas Ice, obviously. I'm like, I don't know, a 12th of the way, maybe we can call this. But honestly, by the end of the summer, I'm probably going to be, let's see. This is how empty my Hawas is that I wore pretty much all throughout last summer. So I would expect Hawas Ice to get down to there. And I'm going to be very sad when my original Hawas runs out. Because I got a good batch and it smells so good and it lasts a long time. Detour Noir. Detour Noir looks good. I want to try it, but I don't really like Leighton. So even if it is a good clone of Leighton, I wouldn't wear it that much. What's getting my gang? That Cabin 7 girl, what's going on? Thoughts on Nuggets firing their coach? That really makes no sense. They won the championship 2 years ago. He's a nice, like, here's the thing. He's not a young coach, but, like, spiritually, he's young. And if I'm not mistaken, he's one of the younger... No, he's not one of the younger coaches. But he's a good coach. He made the right decisions. I don't see why they fired him. And then they fired someone else who was pretty high up on the Nuggets. Chicken Jockey. I always wear a fragrance now. Last year, I would forget to put on a fragrance. Like, for the most part, I would always wear a fragrance unless I was, like, sick. What's my favorite Lattafa? Ooh, favorite Lattafa? Great question. I got it yesterday. Nicholas, what do you think about it? So, honestly, all of the Lattafas I have, I absolutely love. I smelled Sedley yesterday, and honestly, well, and today as well, it smells pretty close to Mahir Legacy. Like, it's not that far off, in my opinion. And honestly, Mahir Legacy is stronger than Sedley, in my opinion. My buddy put on 4 sprays. I couldn't really smell it. Now, granted, yeah, I do 5 sprays with Mahir Legacy, but the significance in how much stronger Mahir Legacy is and how close it gets, I think Mahir Legacy is a very good fragrance. But my favorite Lattafa, which again, they're all very, very good. Vintage Radio has got to be my favorite. Something about that Palo Santo is just absolutely phenomenal. It's this fresh Palo Santo plum citrusy incensey fragrance. Oh my gosh. Very aromatic, herbal, so good. So good. Yes, thanks so much for going live. Tana, no problem. Was good, Montrese. How's it going? It's pretty sweet, and in Georgia, it's not going to slide right now, but for winter and fall, I love it. Makes sense, Nicholas. I agree. Yes, sir, Montrese. Micah, how do you feel about no school tomorrow and Friday? Aiden, I'm hyped. Very hyped. What do you think about it, Aiden? You need to rank your entire collection. It would be interesting to see my opinion. Okay. So, Sassad, I will make you a promise. I will eventually rank all of my fragrances. I kind of want to hit like a milestone before I rank it, though. I think when I hit 100 fragrances, I want to rank them. I want to rank them. I think that sounds good. I'm at... I don't know. I did trade some fragrances, so I think for a minute I was at like 70-something fragrances. I think I'm more at like 60-something fragrances. When I get to 100 Sol Sassad, maybe 75, but 75 or 100, I will rank them. You have my promise on that. Aiden going to go to Disney. I'm going to Spokane. What are you going to Spokane for, Aiden? But yeah, let's see. New pickups. If you guys are fans of the channel or you guys watch my videos, then I'm so sorry. I saw a comment and then I was reading another comment. Anyways, the 2 fragrances that I got, if you guys are fans of my channel, you already know what these are. But Gucci Guilty Eau de Parfum and Bad Boy Cobalt I used to think that this was Cobalt EDT. I thought that the original Cobalt was EDT. Turns out it's Parfum concentration. So technically, Cobalt, what the hell? It's called Cobalt Parfum Electrique, which is kind of an interesting name. So Cobalt and Gucci Guilty EDP. Cobalt is pretty full. And oh my gosh, this stuff smells good. I'm going to wear it tomorrow. It's like that nice body, like blue body wash that's kind of sweet and musky with the super good plum note. Very good. Good for year-round use. Really good in the summer. Gucci Guilty Eau de Parfum. So obviously I can't really see how full this is. I've tried to shine a light into it to see how full it is. It's not very full. I was told it was like a fifth full. Well, the kid showed me with his finger. He was like, it's like up to here. So I was thinking, okay, that's pretty decent. I don't know if you guys can hear. I mean, you guys probably can't hear. There's not that much juice in there. But I still will wear this fragrance. It's like the original Gucci Guilty EDT, just with like a more prominent rose. Colson, please stop with the stickers. But please keep going with the comments. Got blocked on Insta. By who, Nicholas? I went to Dallas and smelled LeBeau. Is this one with lack of coconut? Do you have any other coconut ideas? That's interesting. Lack of coconut in... Was it this one or was it a different LeBeau? I think if that one doesn't have a lot of coconut to you, maybe something like Colognes Island if you want to go more on the budget side, or LeBeau Le Parfum. Is vintage radio good for a 14-year-old? I'm 16. I think it would be good for a 14-year-old. It might be a little challenging just because of like the incense and stuff in it, but I think it's pretty good. I'm just going to... I already read that. What are my thoughts on Dua brand French macaroons and white milk? I've never tried anything from Dua. Tiki Taki, what's going on? Opinion on the Stronger With You line? So, my Dillard's actually has pretty much the whole Stronger With You line. They have the EDT, Intensely, Absolutely, and the new Parfum. I don't like the Parfum. I don't like the new batches of Intensely. And the Parfum was so bad. Like, it wasn't bad, but it just wasn't good. It's literally the EDT without the vanilla. So it's just like a more like basic, just like straight up chestnut fragrance. However, Stronger With You EDT and Intensely Original formulation are, in my opinion, like two gold mines of fragrances. The EDT, beautiful chestnut, vanilla, lavender, sage, smoke, and sugar, whole note breakdown. And then Stronger With You Intensely is pretty much this. Well, it's pretty much the original EDT, no chestnut, but they put in cinnamon and toffee, so it's just more like boozy sweet. And is it good to pull out for the spring? Oh, is the apple and greenlee, and is it... So, and honestly, in my opinion, the apple isn't that prominent, and that kind of upset me because a lot of people are like, oh, greenlee is the best green apple fragrance. People are like, it opens up with this super sweet green apple. Honestly, I didn't get that much green apple. Like, okay, I definitely did get some green apple, but it wasn't to the extent of what people had said it would be. I'm expecting a green apple, juicy, sweet opening, and it was more of just like this oak mossy, citrusy, fresh opening. It was, so greenlee is still a great fragrance. This is not me saying greenlee's a bad fragrance. However, Solstice, don't be like me and go in expecting apple. Just because simply I don't get a whole lot of apple in it. You might get apple in it, but I don't really get apple in it. Want like all the coconut. I mean, I don't know. Maybe try a LeBeau Le Parfum or Colognes Island. The girl at my school. Oh, coconut is one of the best notes ever. Coconut, if done right, is beautiful. But coconut's kind of hard to work with. And is it good for spring? Yes, Solstice. Coconut is the best ever note. Coconut and vanilla goes so hard. Coconut and vanilla is a great combo. Thoughts on Latafa Kamra? So I don't have Kamra. I have Kawa, and I love it. Cheapest discounter for niche fragrances, if I'm not mistaken, it's Fragrance Nevea. And genuinely just a good one that has decent prices. Joma Shop on like the designer fragrances and Middle Eastern fragrances. You can find better prices. Maybe Beauty House, maybe fragrance.ca. I'm not sure. You really just got to compare because, you know, Cobalt, a 1.7 ounce of Cobalt could be $70 on Joma Shop, but it could be $90 on Fragrance Nevea. You really have to compare. It depends what you're buying. Sites will have one specific cologne cheaper than another and one more expensive than another. Do you think quality over quantity? Do I think quality over quantity? If you're asking me, like, would I rather have a fragrance collection, quality over quantity? I would rather go, so if you're saying, would I rather, okay, if I had to restart my fragrance collection, would I go quality or quantity to build it back up? I would probably go with my stage right now, quality, because I genuinely think that I could just pick out a specific subset of fragrances from my collection, be happy with those. Obviously, still try more fragrances, but, you know, maybe not get full bottles. That's something I could definitely do. However, I have a lot of colognes that I like. So in my collection, some people would say I have a more quantity over quality collection because, oh, I have a bunch of Middle Eastern fragrances. I have a bunch of fragrances you can find at rack stores. All of the fragrances that I have in my collection are genuinely fragrances that I enjoy. So, like, yes, I may have a decent amount of cheap fragrances in my collection. I don't have them because they're cheap. I have them because, you know, maybe the reason why I bought them was they were cheap, but I enjoy it. Fragrances that I don't enjoy, I don't keep in my collection and I get them out. Top 3 in my collection. I'll give you, okay, I hate giving just like a top 3 all time. I'll give you my top 3 right now that I've really, really been into. So, let's see. Bang, bang. And then, okay, here we go. Here is my top 3 as of right now. This is not going to be in any particular order, so not, 1, 2, or 3, because I really love all of these fragrances. So, these are all replaceable for 1, 2, or 3. First of all, Joe Milano's Game of Spades Full House. I haven't smelled Imagination. However, this to me is a beautiful, airy, citrusy, powdery fragrance. Very, very good. I love this one. Good longevity, good projection. Just a very nice, like, light, airy fragrance to wear. Bad Boy Cobalt, the original. Super nice, fresh blue body wash with this prominent plum note. Juicy, sweet, bubblegum sweet. Very, very good. And Colage Shiaka Blue. This is a beautiful fragrance. Supposedly a clone of YSL L'Homme Blue Electric. It's just a good citrusy green fragrance off the top. Floral in the middle notes, and then musky and vanilla-y in the dry down. Very good fragrance. Le Male EDT got to be my fragrance for life. And fragrance, because top 7 of them were the exact note breakdown of Le Male. Le Male is just a very good fragrance, and it's very easy to like. Nicholas and Jigga, what's going on? Is Fragrantica too full of trolls to be a good review site? There is a decent amount of trolls. However, I feel like genuinely some of the reviews are pretty good. What's up, Micah? Sin of the Night, YSL, La Nuit de L'Homme. La Nuit de L'Homme, pretty decent. I had a bottle, but I ended up trading it. My personal favorite that I've ever smelt has just got to be the original L'Homme. This is a 200 ml that my dad gave me. Just a nice, like more floral sunscreen. Very good, very easy to wear. Very easy to like. Top 3, I already answered that. Should I buy 1 designer or 3 Middle Eastern? I think it really depends. Jigga, because you can go 1 like nice designer fragrance you've been wanting, or you can get a clone of that fragrance and then 2 other fragrances. Personally, me, I think probably go 3 Middle Eastern fragrances, just because that's more experience. And I think Middle Eastern fragrances are great. Less Middle Eastern fragrances for sure. I've got about 250 frags and counting for sure. Less Middle Eastern fragrances for sure. I'm so confused with that one I smell. I was wearing the blue spades. Yeah, Game of Spades Full House, so good. Exactly, I have a few so-called cheapies that I enjoy wearing. See, here's the thing. People will look like, even with Calvin Klein's, some people will give you shit for wearing a Calvin Klein. Eternity Air, in my opinion, is a beautiful fragrance. It doesn't last that long, but it's a beautiful smelling fragrance. Where it's like people just give you shit because, oh, it's cheap. Oh, it's not that good, Just because it's, you can find it at a rack store. Wearing either Cedrat Boise or Aqua Dubai tomorrow. Haven't decided yet. Hey, I smell. If you want my opinion on it, go Cedrat Boise. Although I've never smelled either of them. Looked on Fragrance Nevea, and they have very limited options. Yes, sometimes Fragrance Nevea does end up selling out. And one thing I do notice is he kind of like sells out of most of his stock and then does one huge restock, which is kind of interesting. Do you watch FB Fragrances? I do. I don't watch him a lot, but I do watch some of his content. Really just, here's the thing. I never actively like go to watch him, but if he shows up in my feed, I'll watch him. Best fragrances for visiting grandma. So in my opinion, with something, if you're visiting your grandma, you're going to want to go something easy to wear, something light, maybe something floral. Honestly, in my opinion, I think a good scent to like go and visit your grandma with, as weird as this may sound, something like either Davidoff's Cool Water, the original, or something like Gray Flannel EDT. Now, Cool Water, this will be if it's, nicer outside. It's warm, it's a spring. Cool Water is this just like aromatic, fresh green fragrance. Very likable, very legendary fragrance. I feel like someone's grandma would smell this and they wouldn't like necessarily think, oh, this person smells amazing, but they would just associate this person with kind of smelling clean and a little bit classy. Gray Flannel, on the other hand, this will be like your more cool weather fragrance. One thing with this, smelling it off the cap and smelling it in the opening, it is a rough green opening. However, the dry down on this one is just this nice, like old school powdery scent. So again, just because it's an older fragrance, I think that this one would be good as well. Classy smelling, 4 ounce, and I think I paid like $12 for this. It's not going to be something that, you'll buy it and you'll wear it every single day, but you'll end up wearing it. Like I've ended up wearing this a couple times and it's pretty decent. Don't got the money for Louis Vuitton, so I'm getting full house fare. Throwing some Neroli for visiting Granny. Neroli Portofino, Ferrari Bright, Neroli, Adolfo, Dominguez, Aqua Fresca, Vetiver, Creed Original Vetiver. All solid Neroli fragrances. Wear the strongest fragrance you have and thank me later. Exactly, Nicholas. If you lost your ability to smell, would you still buy fragrances? I don't know. So here's the thing. If I lost the ability to smell, I would not. Okay, so here's the thing. If I lost my ability to smell right now, I would just go off of just like what I think would be a very good fragrance I could wear year round. I would go something kind of basic, but I would just stick to that cologne. Because without the sense of smell, I could end up overspraying. I could end up, like, I don't know. I guess that's such an interesting question that I don't really have an answer for it. Like, I'm trying to think of an answer right now. I guess I would probably just have one cologne and wear it because I would just know, okay, I do 4 or 5 sprays with this one every day. No one complains about it. I would not buy more colognes. In my opinion, visiting Granny Wear Polo Green, that one wouldn't be like bad. Don't realize how much fragrance organization I don't realize how much fragrance organization cleans up until I got some shelves today. I don't know what was just going on. Yeah, and like here's the thing. When I had my table set up and I just had like the holders, that wasn't the worst setup ever. However, it wasn't like the best setup. With this setup, I love it so much more because it's like I can stand up. I'm here. Now, if I'm being dead honest, I would rather this be taller. Like, I'm a pretty tall guy. I'm 6 foot, like 6'2". This is like, I don't know, 5'6" or something like that. I wish it was a little bit taller. Like, I want it to at least be taller than me. Why EDP personally? That one would actually be good because that's just a fresh scent. Every granny got a bowl of Lifesavers mint in her house where minty fragrance. Dude, oh, I smell original Lamal EDT. You just reminded me of that for whatever reason. Are you feeling better? Yes, I had bronchitis and a double ear infection. Was on antibiotics for a week, on an inhaler and everything. Feeling much better. Woke up insanely sick this morning. I can't smell anything. Ooh, Jigga, that sucks. And actually, that happened to me one time, and I ended up making a video about it because I was like, this is the worst thing about being a fragrance influencer. I don't know why I even made it. But it was just a video of me complaining about, like, me being sick, and I'm like, because you can't actually smell the colognes anymore. And it's like, obviously you can't smell the colognes if you're sick, dude. I want to say this is Gucci Guilty EDP, and this is Cobalt, but I could be mistaken. Anyways, them, like, layered together, which I sprayed these on last night. Smelling them together, they smell absolutely phenomenal. But then I tried the layering combo on my skin, and it just didn't smell that good. No, my opinion, Polo Green is nasty. I agree. With you there, Tana. Polo Green is decent, but definitely worse on the line. Like, it's not going to be the worst. And here's the thing. Whatever the newer Polo Green is, I think that one's decent. Have your parents ever got mad at you for having lots of cologne, and even if it's your own money? Because my mom does, and I only have 9. No. My parents support me with, like, my fragrance stuff. Now, my dad never really comes into my room. But, like, every couple months, he'll walk down to my room. He'll walk up, he'll look at all the colognes, and be like, oh, that's a lot of colognes. And then he'll just, like, walk off. But for the most part, my parents really don't care. Life is amazing, man. Absolutely, Nicholas. Are you scared of your colognes expiring or losing their scent? No, because here's the thing. I have a window right here. I have a window on this side of my room. The light's not going to get to it. My house is not going to, like, my house isn't going to be 120 degrees inside. So no, I'm really not worried about it. Just simply because, like, this light won't affect them. It's UV light that will affect them. They're fine. And honestly, fragrances, they say they have a 3-year shelf life, but if you store them correctly, they really won't expire. Same with makeup. You store it correctly, it really won't expire. Do the free samples you get after purchase smell different than the real one? And then you said cuz. I'm assuming you're saying cuz, like, that scenario happened to you. So sometimes because you smell a lot of fragrances, you can have a mix of fragrances in your nose when you smell something. So that could happen. That could be what you're experiencing, Luke. You got a sample and it smelled different, or you smelled something in the store and it smelled different when you bought it. I got 4. My dad gives me so much crap. I mean, I don't know. I think it really depends. Now, if you're making content and you're making money, I don't think really your parents would be upset about that. However, I can kind of see the argument if you just own cologne and you're not really doing anything with it. However, 4 colognes isn't that much. 9 colognes isn't that much. So I'm really not sure. And it varies parent to parent. Le Male Parfum, decent, but nothing crazy. Middle Eastern fragrances sit for a month. Oh, does letting Middle Eastern fragrances sit for a month help them get better? Absolutely. That is fragrance maceration. You let them sit. So you do, like, it's recommended. What you do to properly macerate a fragrance, you get it, unbox it, open it, 10 sprays, put it in the box, put it somewhere dark, leave it for 1 month. What I like to do after a month, I like to grab it. I like to do, like, 2 sprays on my wrist, let it sit, let it dry down. Oh, it smells amazing. It's pretty strong. Good, it's time to pull it out. If not, I'll put it in for another month. And then really, you only need 2 months max. After that 2 months, the fragrance isn't really going to change anymore. Tough Blackwell, what's going on? Have I tried the new Extra Dose? I have not. It looks interesting, but I have not. Is blind buying too risky? Tiki Taki said it perfectly. It really just depends on the fragrance. Now, for me, when I go about blind buying, I always look up on Fragrantica what the notes are to make sure, if there's a note that I don't like, I'm not gonna, like, if there's a combination of notes I don't like, I'm not gonna wear that fragrance, or I'm not gonna buy that fragrance. I'll look up reviews as well. I'll look on Fragrantica and see where it says, like, oh, this is similar to, or people who like this also like. So just do a lot of comparisons on the fragrance that you want to buy. Check out the new PDM Castley Hugo X Superman. Is that real? Because that sounds insane. Decent amount of research. Don't blind buy over 100. I think you can blind buy over... Oh, here's the thing. There are some fragrances that are just definitely a safe blind buy. However, Luke, if you're in doubt, just get a sample. I love blind buying, and for the most part, I'm pretty successful with blind buying. I would like to say, what I do works decently well, but it really just depends. Also, I like majority of the fragrances I smell. I have a pretty open nose. I like floral fragrances. I like sweet fragrances. I like musky fragrances. I like masculine fragrances. I like feminine fragrances. There are even some perfumes that I like and maybe would contemplate wearing. Do you think smelling a fragrance in a store is enough, or do you want to get a sample? I think, okay, here's the thing. Smelling it in a store is good. However, you want to try it on skin. Because, where's an example? A fragrance, okay, so there's such thing as like linear fragrances and non-linear fragrances. Linear fragrances just kind of stay the same. You spray them on and they stay the same. Non-linear fragrances, obviously, don't stay the same. They change. So there's a decent amount of fragrances where if you just smell them off the cap or off of the atomizer, it'll smell different on the dry down. So what I recommend, do a spray on your hand or wrist, or even if it's on a tester sheet, but normally try it on your hand to see how it interacts and smells off of your skin. What do you think about Fragrance World colognes? I have one Fragrance World cologne. This is Fragrance World Barakat Amber Eve, clone of MFK's Grand Soir. Interesting because this is $20 and it's one of my top complimented fragrances. Every time I've ever worn this one, I've gotten compliments. I've worn it a handful of times. Like, I haven't worn it the most, but as you can see, we got a pretty decent dent going on. 20 bucks. It's just like a pretty nice, just like vanilla amber fragrance. It's pretty likable, decent longevity, decent projection. When I wore it to school, I got compliments, and my girlfriend really, really likes this one. She gave me one of the best compliments I'd ever received. What I think, or I already read that. Usually there's coffee beans that can clear your nose and shop, so that helps. So, Luke, the interesting thing with that is what it does. It doesn't clear your nose, but it gets your nose concentrated on that super bitter coffee smell that then when you go to smell a fragrance, you can smell a lot more of that fragrance. Are you going to get Camera de Con? I think that's what it's called. I don't know. It looks interesting. I want to wait for it to come out, obviously, and see people's reviews on it, because there are a decent amount of Middle Eastern fragrances. Like Latafa Assad Zanzibar got so much hype when it first came out, and then people now that I've been asking, I'm like, oh, is Zanzibar good? They're like, it's really not that good. It doesn't last long. I don't know if you want to say, but do you make much off YouTube? I don't make probably as much as you think I make. I make, I don't know, let's say it's at least $100 a month. I'll say that. It's not something that's gonna cover oh, my car insurance or gas and everything for a whole month, but it's something that I can get a couple fragrances with, and that's really what I will do. With the money that I do make off YouTube, I'm just going to be reinvesting it into the channel, getting more fragrances. But honestly, you don't really start making a lot of money until upwards of 10K subscribers, but I'm doing pretty decent in my opinion. I think I am going to end the live here. I did want to go live. I'm sorry that this was a shorter live, but again, just wanted to go live because I know a lot of you guys were missing me, and I don't blame you guys. But I hope you all have a good night. I'll see you all tomorrow for, fragrance of the day, whatever. I also will say the fragrance of the day and my other short that I put out will be out a little bit later than normal. I don't have school tomorrow, so I'm going to sleep in, so just wanted to clear that up if anyone was wondering. Have a good day, everyone. I'll see you all in the next video. Peace, everyone. Have a good night.